was a quick little chat. Hope you enjoyed that. I am always amazed every time I use this thing. I just love it. Yeah, the sounds, it's almost exciting for me, because the way I've got this set up is I'm embracing the chaos, I'm embracing the random, and I'm never sure what kind of sounds are coming out of it. Obviously I control the kind of the boundaries of what it can and can't do, and I'm obviously manipulating it into music, but it's I never know quite what's around the corner, which means I jam for hours and hours and hours and still enjoying it. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the case. So we have, I think we'll start with clock. So the main clock on the system is the Horologic Solemn. This is an analog clock. You cannot set a particular BPM. It's just all determined based on this knob, the setting. I know typically that 100 is kind of up there somewhere, and like 150 is over here somewhere, so anywhere in between, kind of in the ballpark. But you just play it by ear, just set a particular value to it. But if you want specific BPMs, you can externally sing this, but this isn't the module for you. But for my purposes, it does the job very well. You have 4 clock outputs, clock divisions. You have like the 16-note clock, and then you have the 2, 4, and 8 coming out of it. I got this module initially because it's quick to get a kick and snare going from the 4 and the 8 output, and then you can obviously sequence something else. You see me use like the LL82. I've also used the original Touring machine, and I've used an external Oxy 1 sequencer as well. So I've gone through quite a lot of sequences. I will continue to go through sequences. I mean, finding the right one that fits your purposes is challenging, to say the least. But lately, the DivKit div skip, I've recently got this module. This is working for me really nicely. I'm really impressed with this module so far. How I've got it set up is the Horologic Solemn clocks the div skip, and then the div skip has 4 independent channels, and for each channel it has 2 outputs, the A and B outputs, 2 triggers. So I've got this set up with channel 1 being kick, channel 2 being hats. I've got channel 3, I'm controlling triggers for my voices, the BIA and the Z equal dimensions MK3. And channel 4 is for my modulation, so modulating the noise engineering mimetic digitalis. And yeah, I've only got one modulation, or one trigger input connected at the moment for this one, but sometimes I use the Y as well, so you'll see it flicking around the screen, but at the moment it's just going horizontally across. So this is the main changer. I mean, the mute groups, everything you do that is very performative. I can switch between, I can switch various sections also. I typically switch the kick and I switch the mimetic off on one mute group, and then have everything on the other, so that I can do those quick kind of transitions where the kick dies off. The same note keeps coming out of the BIA with the same modulation on this step. And then it allows me to tweak the settings, do the build up, and then flick it all back in again, so the kick and the modulation comes back in. This module, channels 1 and 2, it has various modes that you can set each independent channel. I've got 1 and 2 set to the pattern mode, so this is always the kick and this is always hats, and I think that does percussion and that does hats as well, if you use pattern mode in all of them, but it's kind of fixed, so this is always kick snare, this is always hats. So the first 2 channels are in that pattern mode. I then have the Touring machine on channels 3 and 4. And it's a really nice implementation of the Touring machine. You go to the right and it randomizes it all, and then you can fix it to the left. Well, if you get past the middle point, to the left, and then you start playing around with the amount of steps that go in between. So it's a 16 step by default if you're straight up, but then you can start manipulating it as you go around. But it keeps the same trigger sequence going in the background until you change it again. So I'm able to transition between patterns really easy now. I always found like if I was using the Oxy one, then I'd have to pre-program patterns, and you can use the kind of randomization function and stuff on it, but it kind of takes your focus away from the case, and whilst I do like it for obviously for the pitch and setting up established patterns and so on, but if you just want to jam, this is really working for me right now. So I was going with the percussion side of things. So the first two channels, I say kick and hats. I use the Shackmat battering ram, recent module again, as you well know, and the Archer's rig for hats. Again, a Shackmat module there. These are really nice. Loving these modules so far. And that's it for percussion, but I do need a compressor, I need some distortion, I need some dedicated effects for that as well. But obviously, I'm constrained by the case size, so I need a bigger case if I'm going to continue down that route, which I probably am, because I'm loving it. So yeah, we'll see how that takes it, but I need the money first. So let's talk about the voices. So as I said, this channel is essentially triggering the BIA and the Z Dimensions MK3. So noise engineering, Basimilis, Taratus Alta, or BIA for short, I'm sure you know. Fantastic voice. It's never left my case since I've got it. It's fantastic. It constantly surprised me, the sounds that come out of it, and it's just got that raw punch to it, which I absolutely love this module. I'd love to get the Alio version of it, do some comparisons and see, but also be able to switch out the firmware, try the other voices. But again, priorities, money needed. But for now, this is really, really nice, and this is my main bass. I use this for all my bass sounds. I have experimented and used the Dimension MK3 for bass, and then used this as a lead, and it does equally well at that. So it's so versatile. If you haven't got one, get one. Typically, I pair that with the Bastille Dark Matter, or Casper Bastille Dark Matter. This provides drive on the output of the BIA, which is really useful, but also the way this works, it fills in the gap in between the BIA hits. So it's got like an envelope follower built in, and it's got internal feedback, and you can set the bass levels on that. And obviously crossfade between the two, so you'll know in my jams kind of like the BA hits, and then suddenly like this ramp up happens afterwards, like a deep bass sound. So it's not having like two basses in one, but it's actually just this module filling in the gaps in between the BA hits. I then put that output into the WMD Carbon. Now WMD Carbon is a fantastic filter. It's got wavefolder, it's got saturation, and it's got low pass, band pass, high pass and so on, but I typically just use it in low pass. But wavefolder is always on. I love the wavefolder on this thing, and that's part of the sound that I'm able to get out of this case is due to that. That's that side of it. So the Dimensions MK3, this is wavetable processor. You can load up wavetables from Serum or anywhere else. It does a fantastic job, lots of modulation points. And yeah, very deep, this module, and it pairs really well with the Oxy one as well, if you use it in polyphonic mode. So lots of possibilities out. I'm still exploring this, I'm still getting to the bottom of it, but yeah, really liking this module. That is going through the Volt Freak. So I got the Volt Freak set up into two parallel filters. One channel is processing the dimensions, and I think it's just... I don't know what I did there, but... Oh, I changed it from high pass to low pass. Hold on, there we go. Yeah, I've just got a low pass filter that the Dimensions MK3 run through. I've then got the Music Thing Modular radio music, and this provides all the vocals, where you can hear it now in the background. There's kind of atmospheric background kind of noise that's coming from there. The SD card is loaded up with all of the default packs, all the radio stations, all of the bird sounds and everything else. I've got some stuff that I've loaded up on there as well, but it's a really good kind of just sample just noises in the background, and kind of vocal chops and that. I've got it set up into the beatbox mode so that one input is essentially switching the position in that wave file, but then also triggering as well. So as the step modulation from here goes through, it basically takes a bit there, and kind of just puts it together. It doesn't make sense, like it's not something that you can sing along to or anything like that, but it provides an element that works really well in the setup. That's largely the voices. So let's go into modulation. So my only modulation in this case is the mimetic digitalis. I'd say I clock that from here, random positioning, not random, controlled random, shall we say, positions around here, but it's a 16-step sequencer. You can quickly load up random values into all 16 steps using the various functions. You can also zero them out. You can go the halfway point, so it's, I think it's a +5, so you can go to like 2.5 max, so anywhere in between that for each individual step. And it's performative again. You can freeze the step that it's on. You can use CV to work your way around the grid, or use triggers like I'm doing. And it's fantastic. It's a quick, easy way to change patterns. Well, not change the actual trigger pattern, but change the modulation pattern, because all the modulation from that is modulating the voices, all three voices. I pair that with the Lapsus, which is a attenuverter. Well, I'm using it as an attenuverter. It has lots of different modes, but I've never used them. But yeah, attenuverter. But I like it because it's got 2 outputs per channel, so this provides 4 independent channels. All 4 go into the Lapsus, and then I've got 2 outs from each. So typically I have 3 going over here, 3 modulation sources going into here, into the Dimensions MK3 and the BA, and then 1 going over to the radio music there. And sometimes I use other ones to go into filters to modulate those, or to modulate the effects and so on. But in this setup, I think it's just doing voices at the moment. So effects. So I only have really 2 effects modules. Well, 3, I guess, if you call dynamics effect as well. I've got the Electus Versio. This is a Riorina Versio, but it's currently flashed to the Electus Versio firmware. It's an atmosphere generator, like a delay, reverb, and I typically have the Dimensions, MK3, and the radio music going into the Electus Versio, and then I mix that in with the main mix, and some of the BA as well. I send like some of the BA signal to the Electus Versio as well to mix all that together. I then got the Meta FX, which is the kind of end of chain way that I can do build-ups, yeah. Really nice module, this one. I finally got the dynamics module. So this is it's the Vertita Ligio, but it's actually flashed to the Libra Ligio, which is a dynamics processor. So it's doing some compression, a bit of noise floor handling, and you can do saturation or distortion through that as well. So using that. So let's quickly cover audio path, and then we'll get back into jamming again. So audio path. So the kick, the hats, the BAA, they all go into this mixer section here. So we've got the Bafaco ST mix here. So I've got kick, I've got hats, and I've got BAA here, or BAA dark matter combination here. I've then got the output of the Electus Versio on this channel, and that is essentially the main mix, and that mix is then going into the dynamics, and then those dynamics are going into the Meta FX, and then the Meta FX output is going into the SP, which you can't see, but it's just off the camera here, and that's providing the 303 kind of limiter compression side of it, and a little bit of reverb as well across the whole piece. The output of the SP goes into my iPad, which is currently filming and recording my voice as we're talking into the microphone here, and recording the modular. The Dimensions MK3, the radio music, they both go into the freak. The freak outputs go into this mixer section, again another Bafaco ST mix, and there's a copy of the BAA, as I mentioned, going into there as well with a stack cable, and I mix those in. They go straight into Electus. and then the output is routed through to this mixer here. Getting these modules has helped me a lot. Before I just used to have one audio path, but I couldn't actually stick a delay or a reverb in there and control the amounts of sends to it and so on, but having this kind of setup allows me to do so, which is really good. Okay, it's enough talking. I just mentioned the case. So the case is a Damaru 64 HP case, 7U, so you got the 1U row and a 3U row and a 3U roll. This is from Elevator Sound in Bristol. I'm UK based. Fantastic little case, and I'm hoping to get another one, and I can combine the two, which would be really good. I power it all via the 4MS 45, row power 45. This has two outputs and there's two flying bus cables which sit under each row. Okay. Enough from me. Video wise, I plan to do more of these, so if this goes down well, we'll do some patches from scratch, kind of concentrate on particular modules, kind of showcase the sounds that they can generate, and yeah, just generally take this to the next level. But yeah, thank you for listening if you stuck with me through this. Like and subscribe, and yeah, enjoy the jam. Cheers all, bye bye.